Lean Beef Patty recently released a video titled I Can't Believe I Have to Talk About This. So you know your boy Zoorp had to release a video called I Can't Believe She's Finally Talking About This. And hold on to your seats, ladies and gentle Zoorps, because the second positive Zoorp video has hit the towers. Surprisingly, we're not shitting on Patty in this video. I actually think she's one of the better fitness influencers, even though she does have a video with Mike Israel. You know, that's kind of like being on the Epstein list. It doesn't mean you're guilty, but it's definitely not a good look. But we're talking about the absolutely mentally deranged post on Reddit and the Instagram reel that's been recently going kind of viral. It's a lot of crazy stuff. It's a lot of interesting topics we gotta address. So let's get into it, boys. You know how it is. Grab your fucking cheesy protein puffs and your diet Pepsi because it's about to get wild.
Once again, my hand has been forced to do something I never wanted to do. Look myself up on Reddit. Don't get me wrong, I am a Reddit user just like the rest of us. I'll freaking Google, what's wrong with my car? Reddit.
There's probably nothing scarier than looking your name up on Reddit as an attractive female influencer online. God knows what kind of depraved things you can find on there.
I would imagine it's people doing cum tributes on old video game cartridges. It's like U2's. U2's has their own cum tribute community.
Patty's brave for even doing this, but Reddit has become such a shithole. Like, let's be honest, there's nothing useful on there. You could post a question on there like, hey guys, how do I make a PB&J sandwich? I really want one. And somebody in the comments will be like,
why do you want to eat those? Those are fucking disgusting. Just eat this instead, dude.
Like, it's the absolute worst website to ask anything on. You could ask about a specific graphics card that you want to buy, and you're like, hey guys, this is my budget, this is the situation in my country, and somebody in the comments will be like, hey, just spend $300 more on this graphics card. It's a much better value. It's a much better card. You just get this one that's $300 more expensive, and you can't even buy it in your country. I mean, that's just like a random example that I pulled out of my ass. Probably didn't happen to anybody. I mean, even just going on that website in 2026 is brave, so I do commend you for that, Patty, and things just get a lot worse when you see what the actual post is about.
Do not get it twisted. For someone to doubt your natural status as someone who is natural, that's really a compliment. Unfortunately, on the downside, the insulting part comes from, you think I'm a liar, is where the insulting part comes from.
Sick train wrecks reference there, Patty.
Do not get it twisted.
But this post, if you think it's just another, oh, I don't think Lean Beef Patty is natural post, you're completely wrong. It's much more degenerate than that. Like, you're gonna see, I can't believe that people actually have this thought process and they're this confident in being stupid. Let's just get into some of the points that this Redditor, and I'm saying this as a slur, this Redditor brings up.
During said month, the month of rest, she lost around 15 pounds while also gaining body fat. First of all,
I'm gonna stop you right there, Patty. You cannot be cursing on Zoorp. This is a Christian channel. We can't be having you just drop F-bombs all of a sudden, okay? That would be fucking ridiculous. But on this first point, you can just tell this person has an IQ that's room temperature in Celsius, because how can you gain body fat while losing weight? To lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. To gain body fat, you have to be in a calorie surplus. Under almost any normal circumstance as a human, this is basically impossible. What can happen is that you can lose muscle, and therefore your muscle to body fat ratio is worse, meaning you look less lean and you look less jacked. That is definitely a possibility, but that's not losing weight and gaining body fat. This guy's doing some Mike Israel levels of research on the human body, but don't you worry, because it actively gets worse from here.
When did I say that I gained body fat? And when did I say I lost 15 pounds in 1 month? That did not happen. Here's what happened. I said I had lost 15, 20 pounds. That's what I said. I thought it took 6 months to lose that weight. I went back in my camera roll to look at when I had weighed myself before. It was a full year.
With some things that will come up later in this video, losing 18 pounds in a year is not only not concerning, it's actually kind of mild. And to be honest, I don't think this Redditor, and I'm saying it as a slur again, knows what 18 pounds of muscle is. Like, if you're an average guy, just like your average guy going to the gym, and you lift for 2 years, you might put on 18 pounds of muscle, okay? Like, you don't have great genetics, you're maybe missing some days here and there, your eating is not perfect, you might put on 18 pounds in 2 years. If you, as a smaller lady, like what Patty is, lose 18 pounds of muscle, you're gonna look like a completely different person. I don't think this Redditor realizes what 18 pounds is, actually. I don't, because I'm European, and who the fuck uses pounds? Come on, America, switch over. But I don't think this guy knows what that amount of muscle actually, like, looks like on a person. But again, boys, we're just getting started, and it gets even worse than this.
Sudden loss of 50% of strength. That is simply not true. I was definitely not the strongest I'd ever been at the beginning of that month. I was already quite weak, and I think because I was so weak, I was mentally really, like, disappointed, if that makes sense, which kind of, like, destroyed a lot of motivation.
I don't think this guy realizes that if you're not eating well and you're losing weight and you're also not specifically training for strength, your strength will drop off. I know this is a crazy concept. Dr. Mike Israel, fake PhD, barely comprehends this. But yeah, if you're not training specifically for strength and you're not eating well because of other factors that Patty will mention later on, you're gonna lose strength. I always think back to what that powerlifter dude told me when I started working out, you know, in my teens. He said, kid, if you want to bench more, you gotta bench more. No amount of chest flies and tricep pushdowns will get you an elite level bench. And that is absolutely true. Like, strength is sport specific. Sebum talked about, like, when he was like Olympic level physique, he could not do more than 5 pull-ups. And this was simply because he wasn't training pull-ups.
Pull-ups, this is another thing where it's like very skill-based. Pull-downs does not make you better at pull-ups. Trust me, I used to be able to pull down the whole machine. I could do like 5 pull-ups maybe. So I'm trying to do those consistently now. Really trying to pull all the way up to the top.
But I guess this is a very complex concept to grasp for this Redditor. And if you're thinking, oh man, this guy already had some really bad takes, it can't possibly get worse than this, well, just keep watching. It gets much worse.
Next point on here that I'm going to cover, blamed it on much stress and much CNS fatigue, so took a month off to reset. I went back and watched the video, and I did use the word stress. I also used the word, like, it was mental. This is 100% my bad. I low-key kind of thought everybody was down with the sadness. That's evidently not the case, because I could not believe how many people were so confused with, like, that saying that. What I meant is severe and chronic depression. So that's what that is. I don't know how much I want to dig into that, but when I was making that video, I felt like I'm being transparent. I'm being vulnerable by being like, hey guys.
Yeah, what was that one fucking song? Depression and anxiety, I talk about them openly. Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about this shit, but I feel like everybody that watched that video that has, you know, an EQ of an average normal person was like, oh, mental struggles. Yeah, it's probably either depression or anxiety. Kind of normal nowadays, especially among young people, because this generation just had the fucking perfect storm to make everybody depressed and anxious with everything that's fucking going on in the world and how the average human life is designed nowadays. But no, apparently this Redditor did not get the hint. He was like, boys, she's talking about mental struggles, not being able to lock in. I think it has to be the fact that she's off steroids. Let's fucking go. I, Sherlock Holmes himself, have caught her. No need to thank me. I know I'm the hero. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. The fact that there's a human, hopefully not an adult human, with this thought process walking around is kind of scary. People like this should be required a license to use a fucking toaster. Like, it's getting out of hand. But say it with me, boys. Come on, you know the line. But as you know, it gets worse.
So I think a really big reason why I don't like talking about those sort of things online is because I think my life freaking rocks. I have a great life. So I don't want to come on here and just be a Debbie Downer and seem, I don't know, ungrateful for the life that I have been blessed with.
A therapist would absolutely have a field day with that sentence because mental illness doesn't really care, you know, whether you're rich or poor. It comes after everybody. It's not over there, you know, with a clipboard saying, well, this person makes over $150,000 a year and they have an 800 credit score. I guess we gotta go to John down the street who's, you know, working as a teacher and barely making ends meet. No, mental illness does not really care for that. And listen, I hate these influencers that are like, money doesn't buy you happiness. Because obviously money does make your life way better in a lot of ways. You can afford healthcare as an American. You can afford better food, better experiences, better just in general quality of life. You can afford a giant pile of clothes that sits behind you while you film your videos. But it does not solve your mental illness, and it never will. You know, Patty is not really like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk levels of money. Like, if those guys came out and like, guys, I'm a little bit anxious and I'm a little bit depressed. It's like, yeah, dude, maybe stop exploiting people, pay them a living wage, and stop making planet Earth a living hell with fucking data centers and all this other bullshit that you're putting out in the world. And maybe people will then feel sorry about you. Patty makes good income and she does her own work. And even though she money mugs the fuck out of me, I still think she should be able to talk about her mental health struggles openly online if that's what she chooses to do. And if somebody's in the comments saying, hey, you live a much better life than me, why are you complaining? I mean, you can just fuck right off, dude. It's not about that. You're like missing the point.
On here. Also, her acne suddenly cleared up. I found that point in particular so extremely offensive. That point pissed me off more than anything else because my acne did not suddenly clear up. You freaking. It took me 2 years. 2 years.
I think this one is just due to the fact that Redditors still haven't discovered what a fucking face wash is, you know? They have not discovered what moisturizer is. The word glycolic acid is not in their fucking vocabulary, and they think retinol is a steroid that will make you jacked. I mean, basic skin hygiene is like a foreign language to these people, and they do not speak it. I almost want to make like a skin and hair care video for dudes, you know, like a very fucking manly skincare video that's totally not fucking gay, dude. I don't think a lot of dudes know how cheap and easy it is to take care of your skin and hair, to not go bald and have terrible skin. And it has like the most benefits out of anything that you'll do. I just don't know if people really care about that shit on the channel, so, you know, leave it in the comments if you want me to make that video. And also rate this video 5 stars and share it on Facebook and send a video reply. Is that what the cool influencer kids are doing nowadays? I don't know.
Thing. So describe being unable to lock in during workouts, muscles weren't feeling engaged, and also described being unable to get a pump. So low-key, that's like pretty similar, like basically the same thing, depending how you translate those things. Yeah, I wasn't able to mentally lock in. I was having a severe depressive episode, right?
I don't think I really need to explain the fact that, yeah, when you're in a depressive episode, you're not really going to be pushing 100% at the gym. Your brain has other priorities and other things to deal with. But I do want to talk about the pump thing because I know some normies watch Zoorp. Hello, normies. Hope you're doing well. When you're in a deficit, especially in a deeper deficit, your pumps are basically non-existent and your glycogen stores are fucking empty, or they're emptying out slowly. 1 gram of glycogen holds roughly 3 grams of water, which is why some people, like, they do a cut and like in the middle of their cut, they're like, bro, I'm losing weight, but I'm looking actively worse. What the fuck is this? And that's because your muscles are like literally deflated and you're not lean enough to, you know, like see your physique properly, which is why people often say that they look the best 1 month after their cut, when they go up to maintenance calories like 1 month after the cut. If you pair depression up with the fact that you're not eating well, your pumps are just not gonna be there. That's completely normal. But again, this Redditor just has no fucking idea what they're talking about.
So I just wanted to say how it was, and I wanted to reiterate again the message from the original video, which was, it is okay to do things that are beneficial for you in a moment where you need softness. You need to take care of yourself.
I preach this in every single video. Lifting should fit around your lifestyle and enhance it, not be a hindrance to it. Most normal people shouldn't go around trying to optimize every single detail. When my friends ask me, dude, why are you doing calisthenics now? Why are you not in the gym like the good old days and doing like powerlifting or just like lifting heavy iron? It's because at this point in my life, calisthenics allows me to be, you know, active and to work out. It's much more fun and it fits my lifestyle better, which is why I'm fine with like losing a little bit of muscle and losing a little bit of strength, but keeping the shit up and, you know, still staying active and still lifting. And I always tell people this: if you want to look better than the average person, be healthier than the average person, and reap all the benefits of, you know, exercising, almost any major branch of fitness or any style of lifting will give you that. Like if you're doing casual powerlifting or bodybuilding or calisthenics or like a hybrid of those or more athletic type of exercises, all of those will give you most of the benefits that you need. So just pick the one that's most fun and the one that like makes you want to get into the gym and push harder. Zorplings, watch this video where we went over Jeff Nippert's comeback video. That one was kind of crazy and shocking. So watch that one, and I'll see you Zorplings in the next one. Zorp out.